Hello! So this is video number 2 in a 3-part video series about kind of the basics of how to get the law of attraction to start working, how to kickstart it. Technically it's already working, but we're going to redesign ourselves to be a better match to what we do want so that the universe will start bringing those things to us. And in this video series, there's 3 parts. The first 2 are like dealing with physical reality, like easy things that you can do, kind of the low-hanging fruit, if you will, the obvious stuff. So in the first video last week, and if you need to go watch that video, I will link it down below for you, all 3 videos when they're done. They'll be in the description box of each video. Last week we talked about, okay, what things should I get rid of in my physical life? Like the obvious low-hanging fruit, like, you know, toxic people or bad habits like, you know, smoking, I suppose, you know, the obvious stuff, right? Not getting enough sleep. We didn't really talk about that kind of stuff too much last week, but we talked about like bad influences, like toxic people and spending too much time on social media. So kind of like, here's what to not do, right? That was the object of last week's video. Here's what to not do in your physical life. And then this week, of course, right now in this video, we're going to talk about, okay, what do I do? And it's the 3D, it's the easy stuff, like I said, low-hanging fruit, the easy stuff in your physical life. And then in video 3 next week, we're going to talk about how to do the energetic work, right? And that's when things get really cool. But I kind of thought this video series would be an easy way for us to kind of break things down, you know, how to kind of get this whole lifestyle started, because this is a way of life, the law of attraction. So, you know, these first 2 videos, we're doing kind of the physical stuff. So let's talk about what to do. Like I said, last week we talked about, okay, here's some things that you don't want to do. Now let's talk about what to do. Okay, so you got rid of the toxic people. You maybe cut out some of the bad habits like scrolling on social media too much. Now, what about inviting people into your life who do bring value to your life? Well, let me tell you a story, something that happened to me. So I got rid of the toxic people. We talked about that last week. Now, I realized also simultaneously, I do have people in my life, friends in my life, who don't make me feel bad. And actually, when I'm with them, I feel uplifted. I feel valued. I feel like I'm important to them. And they don't try to like tell me what to do or say that the way I do things is bad, or, and actually it's completely the opposite. They're always telling me, hey man, like, you're really smart, you've got all these skills, you know, you have your own business that you're running, that's really cool, and we have similar interests that we talk about too. So the kind of conversations that I have with these people are very different. Whereas with the toxic people, it was always like, oh man, I know that you cry yourself to sleep every night. I don't. One of them basically was implying that one time though. That's called gaslighting, right? Where they try to convince you that you're miserable and you hate life and you're no good and you need to figure out a purpose for your life and you're lost and you need them to fix it for you, of course, right? That's the narcissist. Well, these people do the complete opposite. They're always telling me things like, hey, you've got all this great stuff going on, you've got all these talents and skills, and I'm always telling them those things too. It's kind of a nice conversation. We're always building each other up. We're always recognizing the value that we both bring to the table. It's a very different conversation, isn't it? From the conversation that I used to have with these toxic, manipulative people. And we're both very enthusiastic about the things that we do. So we have similar interests too, and we're always sharing helpful strategies for life with each other. We help each other and we build each other up. Very, very different from the kind of gaslighting conversations that I would have before, where it was, somebody trying to convince me that I'm miserable and I need to figure myself out. And I'm sitting here going, actually, the only time I ever feel miserable is when you're around. And then, of course, again, you know, the gaslighter, they're going to tell you that you need them to help you fix it all. The truth is, I feel great all the time. I'm fine. And so I notice how I feel when I'm with these other people instead. I feel fine. I feel good. I feel valued. I feel like I'm having a good time and we're having fun and it's great conversation and good banter and good laughter and we do fun things together. And again, it was people that I already had around in my life situation. I just kind of overlooked them because, again, I used to be the kind of person who you could manipulate. I was a people pleaser and I let toxic people manipulate me. And I just had to wake up to that. I just had to establish boundaries and start telling these people no. And then it was like all the people that were good for me, they were always there. They were always around. And so I just focused on those people. Okay. Also, we talked about, like, last week we talked about, like, how spending too much time on social media, it's really a drain. You know, just spend 5 minutes a day. And by the way, what social media are you looking at for 5 minutes a day? Right, so me, I'll be looking at stuff that brings value to my life, like learning about investing or something, right? Like I'm kind of learning about that stuff right now, right? Investment strategies, health, learning about human relationships, friends, family, romantic relationships, just whatever, just how those dynamics play out, how they work, you know, psychology, stuff like that. Just things that interest me instead of kind of just watching cat videos and political commentary like I used to all the time. You know, getting away from kind of the drama and spending more time listening to self-help books, things that build you up, things that are interesting, things that bring value to your life, hobbies, interests, things where you can build a life that you can say has meaning instead of just drama and fluff, right? So like I said last week, stand guard at the gate of your mind. So this is the part where we let good stuff in there. Here are some other things that you can do. Also, in addition to the friendships, relationships, and the drain of like too much looking at social media. And I think that does, again, you know, I took the time to explain that one, the social media, because man, lots of people do that and people get really sucked into that and it just sucks the life out of you. So that's a big one, guys, the social media thing. But here's some other things, really important. I hope you're still with me in this video. I hope you're watching still, because these are some other really obvious things that you can be doing, guys. Again, this is the low-hanging fruit. These first two videos, like physical things in your physical life that you can be doing that really make you feel better, okay? Here's something I tell to my coaching students all the time in both of my coaching programs. I tell them, guys, is it gonna be easier or harder for you to feel good, for you to feel satisfied, for you to control and regulate yourself emotionally if your body is tired all the time? It's going to be harder, right? Guys, sleep, exercise, and what you are eating. Notice I did not use the word diet because usually when you say diet, people think of a diet. What I'm talking about is what you're eating, what kind of food you eat. And I'm not saying that you need to go vegan or something like that. You're going to be surprised by what I'm about to tell you about what you're eating. But sleep, let's just start with that one. Again, this is low-hanging fruit, easy stuff that you can do, actionable stuff you can do in your physical life that makes a huge difference. Okay, sleep. Guys, oh my God, especially if you're a spiritual person, sleep is huge. Seriously, it is not debated by medical doctors that you need 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day, and you need to sleep on a regular schedule. I know, there's gonna be some Poindexter that's gonna get in the comments section of my video and go, well, actually, Kurt, I heard, yeah, I'm going to delete you if you do that. Okay? The earth is not flat, bro. Okay? It is not debated in the medical community that you need 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and you need to sleep on a regular schedule. I know the military has done like some kind of test or something to see what you can get away with, but that's what they did, is to see what they could get away with, right, when it comes to sleep patterns. You ask any doctor and they're going to go sleep 8 hours and sleep on a regular schedule. And I mean any doctor. Okay? It's like totally the best advice ever too. Because guess what happens when you do that with your sleep? You feel like $1 million. And here's another thing about sleep. This works so well. And I can't believe how many people I come across that don't get enough sleep and don't sleep on a regular schedule. I know probably about 40+% of you guys watching me, you're sitting there going, yeah, I know, I don't get enough sleep, right? Or I sleep inconsistently. Well, it stops today, guys, and trust me, you want to. And by the way, if you're going, I know, but I just don't have time. Really? You don't have time for 8 hours of sleep a day? That's a problem. Really, dude, you gotta fix that. You better make time. Guys, sleep is huge, 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 huge. Did you know sleep is when your body also manufactures most of the vitamins and nutrients and chemicals and stuff that it uses? Like most of the vitamins and nutrients that you eat in the food you eat, or vitamin supplements that you're taking, your body takes those and makes the things it's going to use with those vitamins and stuff while you're sleeping. It converts, that's how that works. Like most of the vitamins you're taking, your body converts into other things. When does that happen? Sleep. Guys, sleep is so important. It cannot be understated. I know I've been talking about this for like 4 minutes now in this video. It cannot be understated. And here's another thing. What you do before sleep. So minimum 30-minute wind down time. No blue light, no cell phone, no computer screen, no TV, no blue light. No reading, no stimulating your mind, right? Notice how the mind does that. And again, this is a spiritual topics channel. We know how the mind tends to like look for stimulation, right? Like that dopamine hit all the time. It wants to like, that's why people get addicted to social media and relationships and stuff like that. So you got to shut that down. You're going to have to make yourself sit down and like basically meditate for the last half hour of your day before you go to sleep. Sit in a chair and just chill. And I have a suggestion. There's a couple of playlists on my YouTube channel that you can use if you're looking for a way to get started. The first one is called Zen. It's my Zen playlist. The first roughly like 10 or 11 videos on that playlist aren't particularly Zen. They're more like upbeat, but they're kind of like spiritually sounding songs. That's why they're on there. What you want to do is find the first video on that Zen playlist where it sounds, it's starting to get more like ambient and chill and mellow. And then all the rest of the videos on that playlist are like that, right? Most of it is kind of Zen, like chill music. So there's my Zen playlist. You can just to kind of get you going, just throwing out some examples. You don't have to use the music that I'm suggesting to you or the meditations, but I have these resources, so I'm offering them up so you can kind of, you know, get the ball rolling. So there's the Zen playlist. Again, skip the first 10 or 11 videos. And then there's also a playlist on my YouTube channel called Ishq, I-S-H-Q. Yeah, I-S-H-Q. And it's a musical act called Ishq. And it's kind of some of my very favorite Ishq songs, right? And it's super ambient, chill, like spiritual sounding, you know, music. So again, just try it out. You might not like it. You might try a few different ones. You might have some other things that you know of that you can listen to. You know, maybe some Enya, right? Enya, I like her a lot. So just like mellow music, you could listen to some chill wave. I think it's called chill wave, some binaural beats. You know, just look around on YouTube and find stuff that you like. But again, I've got these offerings for you on my YouTube channel, so you can kind of get some examples of stuff. You can try it out. There's also another playlist on my YouTube channel called Guided Meditations. And there's a bunch of, again, ambient chill music on YouTube. You don't just have to use mine. And there's a bunch of guided meditations on YouTube. So just look around. I've got these playlists as for people who don't know what to do at all. And just to kind of get the ball rolling for those people. So go check out my playlists. Look around for yourself. Just pick something chill and just chill out, right? For the last 30 minutes. Try not to stimulate your brain too much, right? And just do the best you can. You don't get it to the point where for that last half hour before bed, you're like paranoid about talking to somebody or doing something. Like you're like, oh no, I can't do it. I gotta make sure that I'm chill. Oh no, you're talking to me. Stop talking to me. No, you're gonna ruin my wind down time. Right? Like, don't do that. You know what I mean? No, really, just, you know, if you have children and they come up to you and they start talking to you, it's fine. The idea is to relax for the last half hour. The idea is to relax and just do the best job that you can do of doing that, right? So sit in a chair and just kind of chill and relax for the last half hour before bed. Really important, because if you're like stimulating your brain a bunch before bed with dopamine, the sleep isn't going to be as good. It's not going to be as good. So that's the deal with sleep, guys. Again, I can't overstate how important sleep is and creating good sleep before bed. Also, when you wake up, first thing I want you to do is meditate. Start meditating for at least 10 minutes right after bed. No coffee, no tea, no stimulants. Really, meditate. I get up, go to the bathroom, I go downstairs, take my vitamins, and then I go plop my butt in the chair and I meditate. And I do it for like 45 minutes and I don't have any sound or anything. I do something that I call the vanilla meditation, right? Or maybe some people call it the do nothing meditation. You could listen to some music if it helps, to keep your monkey mind from taking you away, from carrying you away. Again, I've got the chill music. There's Ishq. Ishq is super, super chill. Again, my playlist, Ishq, ISHQ. If you need sound to assist you with the monkey mind while you do your first morning meditation, do that. You know, try different things. Me personally, I love to meditate in silence. Oh, it feels so good. And I do. I just listen to silence when I meditate. Like a nice traditional, I call it a vanilla meditation, because, you know, vanilla is like plain, right? That's why I call it that. And it's the best. Oh, man. But for you, at least 10 minutes. So good sleep with a nice 30-minute, minimum 30-minute wind down time before you lay down to sleep. No blue light. Shut off the cell phone for sure. It messes with your brain waves, the blue light. And no stimulation. Try not to be reading books, you know, and stuff like that. And then when you get up, meditate for 10 minutes. Every day, guys. Every day, every day, every day, every day. And also, we're going to talk about what you're eating, right? So what you're eating, real simple, guys. Real simple. Again, this video is to kind of get the ball rolling, get you started. The low-hanging fruit, the obvious stuff, right? No medical doctor in the world is going to disagree with the advice that I'm about to give you. Cut way back on sugar and processed foods and alcohol. That's it. Whatever else you're doing, just do whatever you think is best, right? If you like to eat lots of vegetables, eat lots of vegetables. If you like to eat meat, right? Keto, carnivore, vegan, I don't care. Just whatever nourishes you. I like what Greg Braden had to say about it. If it grows in the ground or walks on this earth, it's safe to eat. Cut out as much sugar as possible and all the processed crappy foods. And cut back on alcohol, right? Like the obvious stuff. Nobody's going to disagree with that. So we're talking about cutting out all the nasty stuff from your diet. Whatever else you're eating, fine. If it grows in the ground or walks on this earth, eat it, right? However you want to do that. I personally put maybe about 2/3 of a teaspoon of sugar in my coffee in the morning. That's it. That's all the sugar that I'm going to do. And that's fine, but you know, I used to eat lots of sugar and processed foods and, you know, frozen pizzas and frozen dinners, and that stuff is nasty, guys. It's really bad for you. And nobody debates that. Nobody debates that. Again, this is easy to do stuff, guys. Last, exercise. You don't have to do a lot. You don't have to like start like really hard physical training like I do. You can just go for a walk just once a day, 5 minutes, or do some steps. If it's cold outside, go do step-ups on the stairs for a few minutes. Every day, that's all you gotta do. It doesn't even have to be a lot, right? Easy, simple stuff, guys, obvious stuff. And again, stick with it for a couple of weeks, all of these changes, and you're gonna feel better, and it's gonna be much easier for you to do the energetic work, which we're gonna talk about in video 3, next week's video. So we talked about what to not do in last week's video. This week we're talking about what to do. Both the first and second videos here, these are dealing with like easy to do physical things in your life situation. Once that's in place, video 3, next week's video, how to do the energetic work. So much easier when you don't have drama and energy vampires all in your life, but instead things that build you up. We're gonna talk about the magical shit next week. Be there, guys. Don't miss next week's video, the energetic work to get the law of attraction to work for you, for good. I'll see you then.